It's so cold. It's, oh my goodness. But I have a positivity about the cold. I'll tell you all in a few minutes. Don't go nowhere. Greetings and welcome to another Giving Thanks. We are here again today, giving thanks, giving thanks today. Listen, it's cold. Yeah, I don't like the cold, but I have a message about the cold. The cold, when your body feels that cold, it sends electricity or something through your body, and it's actually healing. It's actually healing the body. So when people dip themselves in an ice bath for 20 minutes, they're in there for maybe two, I don't know, that's a long time. But ice baths, those type of things. Well, I just realized and that those are good for you. Those ice baths and this cold weather. It's not a bad thing. So we got to prepare our mental for this. One of my students yesterday had on a tank top, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's cold. What do you do?" So it was interesting because that's when it was shown to me that yeah, our bodies need that. That's why we have seasons. Okay, I grew up on an island where there's no seasons. It's all warm year round, so my body never got that shock of cold to wake it up. So now that I'm here where it is cold, I'm finding that I was complaining about it. Now I'm not complaining about it anymore. I've realized that I'm where I'm supposed to be for my body's health and need and necessity. So I have been up. Oh my goodness. I've been up from 2 this in the rise, about 2 in the rise. And I went to take a nap yesterday about what? I took a nap about 5 o'clock, a little bit after 5. I took a nap and didn't wake up till 2 in the rise. So those of you who've been trying to call me or you checking on me, thanks so much for doing that. That is a true friend that calls and checks on you, no matter if they haven't heard from you. But they call and check on you. That's a true friend. Thank you so much, my friends out there who call and check on me. Even though sometimes I don't get to call you, I may text or send you a greeting. But my life is busy. I don't work at Walmart. I don't work at Walgreens. I don't work in a plant at night, where afterwards you can go home and leave your job. I don't go home and leave my job. My job comes home with me every single day because that is my life. I'm a family scientist, so I'm always working on something about my job. It's a career. It's not a job where, I 9 to 5 or 8 hours a day. It doesn't work that way. So I have to take naps. I have to do that. Yesterday wasn't a long day for me. I have, one class. So, but I have other things that I have to do. So I finished my one class and I, did some housework and stuff because you got to clean up behind grown folks around here. Ha! And went to lay down, and took a nap. And I had my makeup on. I had to get up and take my makeup off and just go lay down. But I don't have any makeup on now. I'm just tired, sleepy. But yeah, checking on your friends, and I appreciate that. So thank you so much for those of you who call me and check on me. And even though I may not answer, I'm going to respond. I text back, whatever the case is, but it's important to have that support team, the friendship there. Thank you so much for the liking the video. I know I got bags under my eyes. I am tired. I've been up from this rise at 2. So, but I want to get into our theme today. And our theme today is Shalom Tranquility. So we're using those 2 words in place of peace. Because, peace is the diploma you get in the graveyard, in the cemetery, RIP, right? Rest in peace. We want to rest in peace while we're alive. I want to have peace and tranquility, right? And maybe I should wear a tank top and let my body feel that cold. Ooh. But when we look at our theme today, Shalom, tranquility, what does that mean to you? Sometimes we give it away. We give away our shalom. And we have stress. I don't want to have stress. I want to have tranquility. You see, I got dark circles under my eyes. I'm just coming at you. This is how I woke up. But I want to start with that theme, and everything that happens on this giving thanks is about that theme. So our theme today is tranquility. It's shalom. It's finding, if you are alone, if you're by yourself, you're single, right? Some people are single for 12 years and they are so used to it. I have a friend who's been single for 12, going on 13, maybe 14 years. And they're used to that. They're used to sleeping alone in their bed by themselves. And they're used to, in their own, ways. And sometimes they don't want to change. That's what they want. And they will mess up relationships just to stay alone and be by themselves. So let's unpack our verse today, because this verse today, when I saw it this rise, I was like, this is it today. Verse of the day. This verse today is it today. Verse of the day. It is it. Verse of the day. Let's get it. Verse of the day. Let's get the verse of the day. Ready? The verse of the day today is coming from 1 Peter. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 15 to 16. There's a second Peter. Peter betrayed Jesus, but then he, was transformed, So people do have opportunities to be better than they were before. So 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 15 to 16, I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of what is right. So what is your favorite artist? Okay. I'm not going to start. Let's start a Q&A. What's your favorite artist? I don't know. Your favorite artist. So I'll put this down here. Oops, I can't go there. Let's take that away. That was the little thing that comes on the live. But the verse today, 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 15 to 16. For it is God's will, right? Righteousness is will, that by doing good, okay, listen to this part, by doing good, you should silence the ignorant talk of foolish people. Okay. Live as free people. However, do not use that freeness as a cover up for wrongness. Live as righteousness, as God's righteousness. Okay, it says God's slaves, but we don't use the word slaves. So, as God's righteousness, as God's people, okay, as the people of good, as the people of righteousness. And I want to shout out today. Today's the 13th of November. Shout out to one of my people that I knew. Shout out to happy birthday, November 13th. You know who you are. Happy birthday. You are what, 60 something years old. You're 50 years older than me. So yeah, you're 61. That's, yeah. So, and you don't look 61. You know, so that's a good thing. You're keeping yourself good. So happy birthday, and tell your mom a happy birthing day, because it's because of your mom you have a birthday. Okay. My daughter's birthday was the 4th of November, and we celebrate the mother who gave birth, but nothing was celebrated for me, I guess, this time around. But anyway, in the verse of the day, we have the righteousness of the people, right? And that it is the will of that righteousness that is abundant, okay, when you build that relationship with that righteousness. And that relationship you build with that righteousness starts from within, okay? That means that you're open to listening to people, you're opening to growth, okay? And you're open to realizing your relationship with God. Okay, some people don't have a relationship with God. They have it superficially. Yeah, I believe in God and that's it. But their lives are not living that representation of God, because people are full of pride. Okay, pride. That's why I said I'm thankful to my friends who call me and check on me. That actually, what's that? Call me and check on me. That's God nature. That's your Christ nature. But the devil's nature keeps you from being that Christ nature. The devil's nature is jealousy, it's envy, it's I'm always right kind of attitude. It's bougie. That's what that devil nature is. It's not willing to grow and to learn about God within. There's a God within that lives within you. And I have another friend who is going to have surgery on their hernia. So I shout out to my friend, my brethren in San Antonio, who is going to have a operation to remove his hernia. And I send the love to that individual, as because he's scared. He's scared about going through this. And I'm sending fearlessness into his heart, that he may be blessed to know that he's protected by a divine within that gives him that strength to deal with what's out there. So yeah, we and my brethren always checks on me to make sure I'm okay. He's like, blessed greeting, queen, how you doing? Da, da, da. He checks on me. This is what I call a real brethren, a real brother in Christ, and those are the type of people that I want to surround myself with. People who leave themselves on the side, and do the right thing in righteousness, not fake. We got a lot of fake people. They fake, they try to be, this kind of way with you, and then you realize they're not that way. So it's a lot of deception and fakeness. So in the verse today, it gives us an idea and talks about these foolish people, ignorant talk of foolish people, right? Foolish people. And when you're doing good, your doing good is going to silence the ignorant, foolish talk of people. Just do good. That's it. Just do good. When you're talking on the phone with someone and you're on the phone with your friend, you're not doing something on the phone disrespectfully. You got to be putting righteousness that's inside of you first. That's what's first, not your flesh and blood, but your righteousness. The church calls it spirit. That spirit inside of you, you need to grow it. So 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 15 to 16 is our word of our verse of the day. And as we get into the word of the day, it kind of dovetails into the word of the day. So let's read the verse of the day one more time as we go into the word of the day. And let me see. Oops. Our word. I looked at the word today and I loved the word today because we need to be about this. The word today is being brought to us by Galatians 5:22. But before we do that, let's read our verse of the day one more time. For it is God's will, the will of righteousness, forgiveness, patience, serenity, kindness. It's the will of that by doing good, being respectful, right? Not being selfish, but thinking of others. If someone hasn't called you for 5 days, you're not going to not respond to them. You're going to call and check on people that you love, That's what people, when people tell me they love me, I got to look at their actions. Actions speaks louder than words, okay? Your actions tells me everything, okay? So your words, you can say you love me all day long till the cows come home. But then when you do things that don't show that tells me you don't. So, for righteousness is will that by doing good, you should silence the ignorant talk of foolish people. Live as free people. However, do not use your freeness as a cover-up for wrongness. Live as righteousness. That's it. That's it. Live as righteousness. So 1 Peter, I love it. I love 1 Peter. This is to all those who are, in this space of whatever it is. Okay, like I said, I have a friend who's been single for 12 years. She's set in her space. Okay, anybody come in to love her, she's not going to want to do it because she's okay with being single for 12 years. That's a decade and some. Okay, I've been only single for 2 years. All right, the third year, if you're single for over 5 years, you're not likely to be hooked up with someone. You're likely to be done already, set, and be by yourself. You're good with that. Okay. And that's fine. That's fine if people want to be alone, but you're never alone. You always have that righteousness within. And that's what you got to tap into when you're alone, when you're with God. So Let's look at our word of the day. It's the 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 word of the day. Word of the day. Word of the day. And we're at the top of the hour right now. So wherever you are in the world, it's the top of the hour. Okay, it's about maybe 5 minutes after the top of the hour, but it's the top of the hour. And our word today is kindness. Kindness. Kindness can sometimes be taken for a weakness. You know, I'm a kind person, and sometimes people can take that for a weakness. Like they can get over me. But guess what? I'm not passive aggressive. I'm aggressive. They ain't nothing passive about me. I'm going to be right up in your face and I'm going to tell you what it is that's happening. And if you can't take it, then you don't need to be my friend. You don't need to be around me, because I'm going to tell you, look, get your head out of the sand and realize what you are doing. Okay. So let's get our word today, kindness. Kindness opens my mind and softens my heart. Okay? That's what kindness does. So kindness, the word is being brought to us today by Galatians. Okay? I love Galatians because it starts with Gala, which is one of my names. So Galatians 5:22. And Galatians speaks of the fruit of righteousness. It's talking about the fruit of the Spirit is love, and love is an action. Okay, I had a birthday the other month, September, and my friend sent me flowers and sent me, little gifts. That was kindness. That was love. So love is the fruit of righteousness. So we have righteousness. It's a tree, right? And there's fruits hanging from it. Picture it like that. One of the fruits of that righteousness tree is love, joy, shalom, patience, serenity, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, and I'm going to add forgiveness. So the fruit of righteousness is all of these things. And what is God but righteousness? Okay, so we give thanks for the righteousness. So in the word today, it starts off with temptation. So it can be tempting to move through the world, focus on your needs, just you and what you need, right? Keeping to your schedule and meeting your obligations. However, you can run the risk of keeping your circle small when you withdraw your attention and energy from others in the world around you. People are hermits, they're introverts. They're just by them little selves. Practicing kindness keeps me present in the world and keeps my heart open to those I encounter in all areas of life. It doesn't take much to be kind. A simple smile, a thoughtful gesture, a little conversation can help someone feel seen and valued. Okay? In my office suite where I work, people don't smile. They're not thoughtful gestures happening. And they have little conversation that make you feel seen and valued. We have racists and racism permeating, around in pockets of society, but mainly deeply in higher education. We see it a lot. So my kindness benefits me as well. Okay, so when you're kind to someone, it's not just them that's benefiting, it's you. The simple act of engaging with another makes me more present to life, much in the way that opening a window introduces fresh air into a room. Kindness is a bliss that grows as kindness is shared. So plant the seed of kindness, not to be weak, but to be aware. Okay? But to be aware that the simple act of engaging with another makes you more present to life. When you engaging with other people, you're more present to life. So this is where I see that I'm not going to be single for long, okay? Because that simple act of engaging with another person makes me more present to life, and I want to share my life with someone else and enjoy that and see them happy and be together with them. So that much in the way that opening a window introduces fresh air into a room, right? When you open the window, you get fresh air in the room. Kindness is like that. You open it and it's going to benefit you. You're going to get fresh, revived. So in our word today, I'm like worm today. I'm so tired, y'all. You can look in my face and I'm just exhausted. But thank you for tuning in, for sticking with it, and for liking the video. I appreciate that. The word today, kindness, is brought to us by Galatians. The fruit of righteousness is love, joy, tranquility, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, forgiveness, all of that. So that is our word today. Let's look at our Bible challenge. So, we started the book of Romans. We started the book of Romans yesterday. Today, we're looking at Romans chapter 4 to 5. And we make a living by what we get. We make a living by what we get. Okay? We make a life by what we give. When you give kindness, you're making a life for yourself. Right? We make a living by what we get. So in our November 13th Bible challenge, we're reading Romans 4 to 5. And it's only 40 shopping days till Christmas. Though Christmas is still more than a month away, perhaps you have already begun your Christmas shopping. Who is on your Christmas list this year? Your immediate family members? Close relatives? Intimate friends? Those are the obvious choices. But what about the person at work who rubs you the wrong way? Remember I just talked about those folks at my office suite? The neighbor next door who has a questionable lifestyle. The relative who holds a grudge against you. Are they high on your gift list? Probably not. For gift giving is usually directed toward those you love. However, God's gift to mankind, salvation, was provided while we were still sinners. So while people were still doing wrong, there was a gift that was given to them, even though they were doing wrong. So when people in the church judge others for doing wrong, God is with those people who are doing wrong. Because it's written, God's gift to mankind was provided to all people while they were still sinners, needing, and that's from Romans chapter 5, verse 8. Paul describes those for whom Christ died as sinners and enemies of God. So this is what a lot of people in the church fail to realize when they look at a sinner or somebody who has a lifestyle they don't approve of. This is what happened to me with Mr. and Mrs. Malone of the Virgin Islands, who refused to rent an apartment to me because of my lifestyle. So when I read this, right? That Paul describes those for whom Christ died as sinners and enemies of God, chapter 5, verse 8 to 10. So if Mrs. Malone felt that I was an enemy of God and I was a sinner, her obligation as a child of God is to welcome me in, wasn't it? Yeah, that's what her obligation is according to the book of Romans, was to be as Christ's nature and realize that Christ died for sinners and for enemies of God. And if you feel I'm that, then you should embrace me even more, not discard me. So, with God's love as a model, so that's why she said the God she serves does not accept certain lifestyles. I said, well, what God is that you serve, Mrs. Malone? What God is it that you serve? Who God is it that you serve? And she's supposed to be a family member of mine. She married a Malone, but she is a family member of mine from Coral Bay, St. John. And you're discriminated against me and you're supposed to be a Christian? So, with God's love as a model, that's the model for God, for love, loving people who are different from you. With God's love as a model, make a Christmas list of 5 people you know who need to receive God's free gift of salvation. Okay? If you feel that they're a sinner and you want to judge folks, by the end of the day, try to share God's plan of salvation with one of the 5. Make it your goal to share the good news of Christ with everyone on your list by Christmas Day. So, what's the insight? Shalom with God, Romans chapter 5, verse 1. Paul's concept of tranquility with God would have come out of the Jewish idea of shalom, a Hebrew word meaning peace, tranquility in the fullest possible sense, fullness, fulfillment, rest, health, happiness, and bliss in all areas of life. Tranquility with God through Christ means not only that we are freed of the conflict between us and God, it also means that we will enjoy the fulfillment of life together with God forever. And what is God but righteousness, mercy, love, kindness? So as we read the book of Romans chapter 4 and 5, look at how you can be what Romans talks about, a model of love. God's love as a model. Okay? You model that behavior. All right? So that we're wrapping it up. This is our time, y'all. We are out of time. So here we go. Oh my goodness. Have a blessed day, everyone. And remember, stand in love. Don't fall in it, because guess what? You're being selfish. Standing in love keeps you from being selfish. So remember that. Have a blessed day. And we'll see you next time. Live in the Rise, giving thanks always. Take good care. Thanks for liking the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful, blessed day, everyone. Have a beautiful, blessed day. And remember to stand in love. Shalom. I messed up this part. What I was doing. Take good care.